saw that. I was reading the
This is the only thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. No, mine's off. It just picked up. Yeah, I
Fine,
saw that. I
mine's
was
on.
reading the notes.
Mine's on, that's why it's. So Mike, why is there a step stool?
I bet that's for short people. Probably Lorna probably puts her feet on there. Because I think that's Lorna's seat. You don't think Bob's going to make it, Kim? No.
Oh, my goodness.
Made it.
Well, I'm trying to get to the bottom of the mystery. Somebody from work called, and they're like, our clients are upset you didn't even call me out.
Oh, yeah, yours is on that side. Yeah.
He's like, were you on the radio today on US 99? Wasn't on the radio. And then my partner's sister texted and said the same thing. She says, yeah, she heard you on the radio. I'm like, she's like, she talked to
Hey,
Can you plug me in,
yep, I should.
please?
Yep. Excuse me.
yeah.
Thank you, kind sir.
What's that we got here? You're up and running.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm not too sure what either one. See, I'll pour it right here. I'll get it.
All right.
It's close enough.
At 7:04, I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Planning and Zoning Commission, Village of Bartlett, Counties of Cook, DuPage, and Kane. Call the roll.
Michelle Sarwas,
Here.
Charlie DeVoe,
Here.
George Koziel, Bob Picaro, John Miasso,
Here.
Julie Kapotakakis, Amy McSwain,
Here.
John Borkren,
Here.
Mike Weirden.
Here. You have before you the January 8th meeting. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Moved by Charlie, seconded by Amy. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Charlie DeVoe,
Yes.
George Koziel,
Yes.
John Miasso,
Yes.
Julie Kapotakakis, Amy McSwain,
Yes.
John Borkren,
Yes.
Michelle Sarwas, Mike Weirden.
Yes. Next item is the public forum. If anyone in the audience has anything to address the board that is not on the agenda, or anyone online, are we online? Okay, nobody has anything. First item on the agenda is case number 25-14, 1001 Georgian Place. It's a continuation for a variance. Are the petitioners present? Please step up to the microphone so we can swear you in if you're going to talk. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the evidence you're about to give is only the whole truth?
I do, yes.
Okay. Go ahead and state your name and address for the case, and then present your case.
Christian Donaldson at 1001 Georgian Place in Bartlett, Illinois, DuPage County. I originally was approved for a 4-foot fence in my side yard. We went ahead with construction and planted that, and then realized it really just doesn't offer the privacy that we were kind of looking for in that section of our yard. And I decided that maybe an extension would help. Not a huge extension, just about, well, roughly 18 inches of an extension I thought would give us a little bit more privacy from the sidewalk and across the street.
Excuse me 1 minute, I forgot to say, do we have the evidence of the mailings, the newspaper, and the sign, mark those exhibits A, B, and C? I'm sorry, go ahead. I should have done.
Not realizing that I needed an additional permit, I went ahead with construction on the fence. And I was informed that, well, you can't add to a fence without a permit, so I said, okay, I will absolutely provide for a permit. And then it was back and forth with planning, and they came back and said, well, you could have up to a 6-foot fence in your front yard. I said, but it's not in my front yard, it's still in my side yard. And I think that's where a lot of the back and forth went. None of the fence actually breaks the plane of my front yard, but being that the road is curved, I guess that changes the definition of my front yard. So that's when we decided, well, maybe I can apply for a variance. It's actually not a 6-foot fence. It's 18 inches on top of the previous, just shy of 4-foot fence, and it's made out of cedar and aluminum. So my contention is that since another fence actually goes beyond the front of my house, so I don't. Maybe if you click to the picture of the side of the garage, so it actually sits back behind the front plane of my house, and then I have it angled at about a 45-degree towards the neighbor's property. And there are already 12-foot. There's 3 12-foot spruce trees in the corner of my property that were there, well, right about when I moved there, which was in 2010. They were only 4 foot at the time, but they've grown. And zoning came back and said, well, no, it's still your front yard. So I guess maybe I'm having an issue with the actual language or the definition of what actually constitutes a front yard from a side yard. My house is oriented east to west, so anything on the north side of my yard should be considered my side yard. The other question that I had, I think, was if it's determined by the layout of the street, what if the street turned to the left or the west? Does that mean that my side yard extends out to the west as well? Does my front yard boundary extend further to the west? So I guess that's my argument for hopefully keeping it. The other issue that I had that I put forth in my variance request was just that the peculiar shape of my yard, just the fact that you can see it's a rather pizza-shaped yard. So beyond the deck and the patio, I have maybe about 10 foot of an actual backyard, as opposed to the majority of yards in my subdivision have nice big square backyards. So we're actually using my side yard as our recreational backyard in lieu of having a small backyard. The grade from the street to the back corner of my pizza-shaped yard, it's about a 8% grade, and it's about a 15-foot difference between the corner of my backyard and where the sidewalk is, where it goes down. So, and then it's up a little bit higher on the street. So even if you're walking from the neighbor's corner property, and when the fence was at 4 foot high, you could still see all the way back down to the backyard. And that was really why I wanted to bring up a little bit of the height. And I apologize for not initially knowing that I needed a permit to do that. And I agree that ignorance to the zoning is not an excuse, but I did try to correct that. So I'm here just hoping to hopefully get a approval on my small fence extension.
Did staff have any calls or emails from anyone?
We did not have any calls, but someone came to staff just a few minutes ago and was not able to stay. This was Greg Lekskowski at 1020 Dartmouth Drive, saying that they have no objection, but otherwise no calls.
Okay. Well, this is an unusual case because you did get the permit for the 4 feet, which was allowed, and it should have been, as you can see on the diagram, approved location for the 4-foot fence. And so it should have struck you that you can't just arbitrarily decide to increase the height without getting some type of approval.
Correct.
I mean, you see stuff like that go on in unincorporated areas sometimes, but not something like this. You do have an odd-shaped lot, there's no doubt about that, but still the zoning ordinance is still pretty clear about how setbacks are determined.
Correct.
And especially in the front yard where there might be an obstruction for sight lines for traffic or people on the sidewalk.
Correct.
Does anyone on the board have anything to say?
Well, at the front over there, you have trees in front of the fence
Correct.
at the elevation.
Actually, those are smaller trees, but then further to the north, I have those taller trees. Those are up to close to 12 feet now. So even with the addition of the small extension that I put on there, even with the 12-foot trees, there really isn't any sight issue coming west, or well, I should say from south to north, or north to south on Georgian Place, because they're still set back from the sidewalk considerably.
Yeah, if I could, Mike, I think it was last month before the previous meeting, scheduled meeting, I drove by there. I didn't see any problem with sight lines from the road. I don't think there was any impact to the fence with respect to sight lines.
Correct.
And, you know, as I look at the evidence that you presented on the 7 conditions, it's hard for me to disagree. You've presented, I think, conditions that presented a clear picture that you indeed have a hardship because of this pizza-shaped lot. In essence, you don't have a backyard. your backyard is your front and side yard.
Correct.
And if you look at all the other lots that are in this subdivision, not all of them,
No,
but
not all.
most of them are nice rectangular shaped lots with ample backyards. You don't have that.
No, I didn't.
So you've met the conditions, as far as I can see, in all 7 points that you presented here, so I have no problem with that.
Did staff look at the sight lines from the property next door? That's who I'd be more concerned about having sight distance issues.
Do you mean the neighbors to that side? I don't have the
If you go to the
plans
pictures,
pulled
sorry,
up, but yes. Do you mean the photos that were taken?
sorry, the photo.
These
The
here?
person whose driveway is,
Yes, this is to the north of the property. I took these pictures standing in the driveway. I did not take these pictures standing notably from the sidewalk or from where the curb cut
so I'm
is.
thinking someone backing out of their driveway. Did the engineering staff take a look at sight distance?
They did not, no. Additional context for this, just to make sure everyone is aware of what's going on here. This line here is what delineates the front yard. There's a 25-foot line here. A 4-foot fence, which is what was built, can be anywhere within this front area. 4-foot fence could have been built anywhere. This is the location that was eventually approved. But in terms of sight lines, we did not pass it by engineering staff. Typically, particularly when it relates to the plants, those are not regulated by the zoning code at all. Those will get flagged by engineering staff or by Public Works if there is a problem, if there is an encroachment into public sightlines or into the public right-of-way. They did not flag this one, but I have not specifically run it by them.
I just think the 4-foot fence is part of the elevation where you do the eye line. Sorry, I'm an engineer, so this is my, the elevation where you do the sightline calculations is a 4-foot fence may not block, but above a 4-foot fence is where that becomes an issue. That may be why the ordinance is that way. Was curious if they took a look at it.
Yeah, I do believe that you are correct, that is the origin of the fence height limitation is for sightlines.
Your sight lines are good from both ends, going north or south.
On the street,
Pardon?
on the street.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned with the person backing out of their driveway. Can they see when they back out? That's,
Whose driveway? You back in and out of the driveway.
Sidewalk before you even start to get close to being in a road where by that point, I would think you would be able to see, it wouldn't be blocking it. But I'm just looking from this picture.
Are you an original homeowner?
I bought the property in 2010. I believe it was built in 1993.
When did you take possession?
April of 2010, I took possession.
So you owned the property for a reasonable amount of time.
Yes, sir.
When did you realize that there is a discrepancy? Things happen when you decide to make a change to what you applied for. You applied for a 4-foot fence, and then all of a sudden, it's now 4 feet, 14 and a half inches. You took it upon yourself with all of the risks that are implied with that when you decided to make the fence higher.
Correct. So last year, when we decided to redo the fences that we had, we did get approved for the replacement 6-foot fence in the backyard. My neighbors at the same time did their 6-foot fence in their backyard. So we kind of worked together to try to match up everybody's fences in the backyard. And then we decided to put the fence further up into the front yard to increase our actual backyard space. And because it was in my side yard, I never gave it two thoughts about the fence height. only because, well, you know what, I was already approved for a fence, and I guess I never put two and two together. And like I said, I apologize that it, ignorance to the actual law is not a good excuse. I totally agree with that. But I was oblivious to the fact that, well, maybe I should apply for a fence permit to increase the size of my fence. It never even dawned on me to do that after doing all the other stuff that we've done to the house. It just, for some reason, just adding on to the extra height never occurred to me to do that. Just because it was already approved, and because I thought it was in my side yard, according to my last fence permit, it never even occurred to me that I wouldn't be able to go up to a higher height on that fence.
Do you intend to leave the wood look on top, or were you going to paint that, or?
No, I'm using cedar. I'm using western red cedar, so actually after a while it'll fade out to a gray color, similar to the siding that we put on the house.
So what is the issue here? Is it the fact that he did a unauthorized addition to the fence on the front?
No, we would be in the same place if the applicant had applied before applying for a permit, or maybe in the process of applying for a permit, regardless of whether or not the fence had been done with or without a permit, wouldn't have affected our role in this or it coming before you all.
It was just asking to allow a fence that's higher
Correct.
in that area for privacy.
Correct. Specifically in the front yard, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Would he be required to change it to match the plastic, the white fencing, or?
The zoning code does not have any conditions for fences about color or material.
Okay.
So that's not an issue
All right.
zoning code wise.
So the issue is he built an extra 14 inches on top of his 4-foot fence.
It's the height, correct, yeah.
Height.
Anything taller than 4 feet is not permitted past this line here.
So he's asking for a variance to allow him to keep this 14 inches.
Yeah, correct.
And then there was something else about, would he have to pay extra to get this variance? Did I read that somewhere?
No, work without a permit is a double permit fee. So the work that was done, he has already applied for the permit.
Okay.
For the fence extension, that comes with a double permit fee because it's work without a permit. Again, work without a permit doesn't affect a variance case. The normal variance fee applied.
I noticed that there was no extension on the gate. Do you intend to do something on the gate?
Yes, sir. I was going to figure out a different way to do that with the hardware that's in the gate latch. So the fence right now, those are 4x4 cedar posts that are anchored into the hollow vinyl posts. And the gate construction is vinyl and a little bit different. So I would have to construct some vinyl corners for that with cedar inside. And then the outside is painted aluminum that I cut and anchored in through the cedar itself. So I would have to do that, but I ran out of a lot of time and materials over the summer.
Anyone
I
else?
think you should have gone back to staff before this became a problem. You could have gone back to them and worked to make that 14 and a half inches legitimate and within the rules and regulations of where the height of a fence is in question. It's not like this, it's not like you found out about this yesterday.
Correct.
You knew about this well enough in advance to have done something Proactive
Well,
instead of reactive.
Well,
Not about it after there was a complaint filed.
was there a complaint filed?
I thought I read in there that there was, something was brought up.
Yeah, the timeline of events is that his original 4-foot fence permit was closed January of 2025. Then staff received a code complaint in July, and it was inspected July 9th of 2025. And then I believe it was November that the variance was applied for.
Correct.
So it was known that the extra height, 14 and a half inches, didn't meet code.
After he built it.
Well,
Right, after.
I didn't realize that
and-
until
and,
after
you know,
I-
what gave you the right to increase the height of this fence on your own without clearing it with the village?
Because I was not aware.
Oopses
that I
don't
needed
count.
a actual permit to add fence height to an already permitted fence in that same location.
Is the plotting of the fence where it was thought to be? The application?
I think you're asking, yes, the original permit for the 4-foot fence, those inspections were approved. So that location of the 4-foot fence,
So that was not moved forward or anything?
no, no, this is just a fence extension, height extension that happened, yeah.
And Brian, with respect to that height extension, we are not to judge what material it is, correct?
That's
Or
correct.
how it, the color of it, et cetera, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And I'm curious, did any of your neighbors, in conversation with your neighbors, object to what you did?
No, not one. I've had a lot of compliments on the fence, and I've been asked to do other people's fences as well. But no, I haven't had any other, I mean, I've had people drive, especially after the sign went up, I've had people drive by that don't live in the neighborhood and say, that's a great fence, who built it? But that has nothing to do with obviously what we're doing here. But like I said, my question is what boundaries, is it the build line that actually determines the front of a house?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so my
Yard is
other-
defined by the building setback line.
Okay, so, like I said, if that street went the other way, does that mean that I could build a 6-foot fence that broke the plane of the front of my house that went to the west, based on that?
I'm not sure if I totally follow your hypothetical, but yes, if the street went in a different, the building setback lines are set by the street. And so
Okay.
the 25-foot setback line is where, it is the distance from the front property line and then 25 feet back. from that.
But-
So if the street was going in a different direction, there would, yes, you'd get more front
Right,
yard.
so theoretically, I could put a 6-foot fence that breaks the plane of the front of my house. Like if I put a ruler straight on the front of my garage, pointing north, does that mean if the street went the other way?
You're saying if you're
Can I,
a little bit?
yeah, can I?
Typically, a 6-foot fence wouldn't be allowed in the front.
In the front.
So what exactly is it?
Yeah.
So if, from the front of my house, right there, if you went straight up, sorry, I have nerve issues in my elbow, probably from doing a fence. If this is the front of my house, right here, and you're saying that the 25-foot build line is this line right here, right?
It's back.
Back
That's
here.
right. It's right. Yeah, right there.
There. So if the street went this way, and the build line went that way, does that mean I could still put a 4-foot or a 6-foot fence going this way?
I think there's an example of that at 1004 across the street, if you pull up the map.
Right?
The answer is yes,
I,
because it would change your lot line. Your lot line would be different.
but does that change the wordage of my front yard, or does that, or is that?
Your front yard, the definition of the front yard would be the same, just being that your lot would be shaped differently than it currently is.
Right, okay. I guess a lot of that was a lot of the conversations that I did have with my neighbors. They're like, well, but it's on the side of your house. So I guess that's a lot of that was the confusion that the sign showed too, because people got the mailers and stuff, but it's not in your front yard, so.
Hey, Brian, I wonder if you could go to to show the subdivision with all the other properties.
That one.
Now, and here's my point. I think, to me, my opinion, all this talk about what's the side yard, what if the road turned the other way is irrelevant. Because, again, I think you satisfied the conditions. Your answer, you do have a hardship because of this shape of this lot. You satisfied that condition. I agree. There is a hardship, definitely. Look at all the other lots, they're rectangular, they're nice backyards. You don't have that at all. There are some other lots that are in kind of your condition, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about you and your evidence that you've presented. So item number A, I agree, it's a hardship. You've presented that. These conditions are unique to your property. That's been demonstrated here. You're not making any money out of what's been done. There's a hardship. I agree with that. The granting of this variance is not going to be a detriment to the public welfare. So I think you've demonstrated everything that you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I mean, you know, like we said, is there an issue? Should you have come for approval before? Yeah, we all agree. You already said that. But that's not the issue tonight. So I just, because I also drove by, I don't see an issue. And if we don't have neighbors and everything else contending it and, you know, and
We can't have you talking from the audience, we need you to come up here. Did you fill out a form?
no, because you've already crossing
Yeah,
this.
you need to fill out a form.
Neighbors didn't complain.
In order for them to back, the neighbor next door backing out, because you've got the house, so you know, even if, you know, if he had cars there, if there was a truck parked in his parking lot or whatever, they couldn't see through those anyway, so you're already driving out, you've got to be at the sidewalk before you're, and then you still have space behind you, you know, you've got the apron and everything else before you'd have any traffic sight line. So you're already backing up, and if you're positioned in a car and you've already come back, you've crossed that fence to be able to look down before the back of your car actually enters the street. So there's really, it didn't look to me like there would be any problem from the backing out. No difference than if there was, you know, a van or a tall pickup truck or something sitting there and you're pulling out in a sedan.
Okay, so at this point, I'll open up to the public hearing. Wait,
Okay, I'm the
wait
neighbor
for Kim
from,
to call.
Malgor's Gazette.
Małgorzata
That's what I was going to say.
Kizel. Yeah, we live across the street, is address 1004 Georgian Place. And I think he did good adding that additional. They have a dog, so they were barking sometimes a lot, and we're the neighbors, and we don't have any issue with that additional fence he added to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. our neighbors, we ask also, we talk about, he did very good job, and we're all happy with that. And we don't see dogs. We like the dogs, but, you know, they were barking. When people were walking, it's a lot of people walking on the sidewalk.
Sure.
They were barking a lot. So now it's quiet, because they can't see it.
Can't see the people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
Do you have any issues driving
No.
on the
it's
road with
no issue.
sightline because of that
Yeah,
fence?
it's all clear. It's no issue. It's everything, it's nice and open. That's all. Have any questions? No. Thank you.
Anything else?
I will agree that there is a hardship here, but the hardship was caused by the homeowner. He had the time to come back to the village and straighten it out before tonight's meeting.
Either way, he would have needed a variance. He would have had to be asking for a variance. He can't change his lot shape or size.
Correct.
So we'd be at the same place we are today. He's just asking for a variance. The fact that it's after the fact, I don't think that's what we're discussing.
That's correct.
And again, we are just here to review, and as he presented himself and his fence, to allow him to have a variance for this 14 and a half inches.
Yeah.
Correct. The application in front of you is having a higher than 4-foot fence in the front yard at this location and not in the side yard. It's having a 1 and 2-inch extension past this line from the side yard into the front yard.
Thank you.
Any motions or further discussion?
Yeah, I'm looking for the case number.
It's 25, what is it? Here we go. Come on. Okay, see if I can do this correctly. I make a motion that we approve the petitioner's request for a variance on 25-14-1001 Georgian Place. That we, I think, approve the variance for his 14 and a half inches
Based on the findings of fact.
based on findings of fact and all that other good stuff.
Good stuff.
I would second that motion.
All right.
Okay, and at this point, we need to close the public hearing. It's been moved by Charlie, seconded by Michelle. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
George Cosio?
No.
John Miasso?
Yes?
Or Julie Kapadakakis? Amy McSwain?
Yes.
John Borkren?
Yes.
Michelle Sarwaz?
Yes.
Charlie DeVoe?
Yes.
You didn't call me.
Mike Reardon?
Yes. Okay, so we'll pass on a positive recommendation to the village board. Stay in touch with staff to find out when it appears, probably next month, right?
That'll be the 17th, actually. No, that'll
Be
be.
on the 17th?
Yep, we'll be able to get, memos go out next week, so 17th February is when the committee will be.
So it'll be approved, it'll be before then, before warm weather.
Great. Is that something that I need to show up for, or?
Yeah, you need to be there for that. I'll give you the information.
Okay. All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, new business, old business, anything on there?
We'll likely have Bartlett Meadow next month, so, yeah, March. I think that's the 6th.
It's the one at 59 and 20?
It's, 59, on Lake Street, and then it's the 5th. It's the rezoning from B4 to PUD.
Who is that for?
That's Pulte, so it's 28 single-family
Oh,
subdivision.
family homes.
Yep.
Anything else? Any motions to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Michelle already did.
You can second it.
And I second.
Moved by Michelle, seconded by John to adjourn.